Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Netters Network Thursday Things. Before we get started, I'd like a mic check. Tell me if you can hear me okay or if I sound muted. I sound muted to me, but it could just be me. And of course, before we get started, let me introduce to you my co-host, that guy at the end of the bar, the love of my life, Troy Pacelli. How you doing tonight, sweetie? And what are you sipping on?
I am doing well, thank you. I am sipping on a Cherry Coke Zero.
I have my Meyer Sparkling Water Berry. I'm still on that one. In fact, I think my other box is also the berry, so it's like I'm going to be drinking berry for a while.
As long as you enjoy it.
As you can see from the banner, our special guest tonight is unable to make it. He had a family emergency, and so we've actually rescheduled him for June 13th. But we're still going to be talking about the same things that we were going to be talking about with him. So, before we get talking, yeah, I can speak. I know words. Before we get started tonight on our topic at hand, let me say hello to our lovely chat. Starting with Deleted Scenes giving us his salute, and Connie Cleary saying hail to the chat. And of course, I love Deleted just saying like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, sweetie. I appreciate that. Curtis Selby saying hello to everybody in the chat. It's like we all kind of like hum as we're going along. Last call saying hello to people in the chat. He's going down the line.
I'm doing the netter thing. Saying hi to everybody.
Yeah. We have JPRPH1 saying hello to everyone. You know, that last call guy didn't drop a hello to me.
It's because I'm sitting across from you and I said it to you, but okay. All right.
It's like, it's not official unless you type it.
There you go. Goof.
JPRPH1 said, no problem, it will let me finish Queen of Hearts. I'm only an hour in. Oh, I'm only an hour in.
Okay. Yeah.
We also have Lester San Jose, the Skeptic Tank. Yeah, he'll be back. His son was sick, so he needs to take care of his kid, and I fully support that. It's like, and understand it. Family comes first. Family will always come first. It's like me and Troy can talk about just about anything, so it's like, it's not like, okay, we don't have a guest, so we can't continue on. It's like, we're going to keep going on. Our guest will be back another time. He needs to take care of family, so I want to make sure I don't have any more. And there's my fish. I love you too, Netter Network. Okay, so our special guest tonight that we were going to have tonight is a huge Twin Peaks fan. And so we're going to be talking about Twin Peaks. We're also going to be talking about his 2 films and his fundraiser. So, Troy, I know you've got some information on the fundraiser pulled up. Do you want to start talking about that?
Yeah. So, those of you that have been following us over on Deleted Scenes channel on Tuesdays for Sparkwood and live from Sparkwood and 21, you've heard me mention a couple of times about this fan film Queen of Hearts, which Deleted Scenes hasn't seen yet. It is chock full of spoilers for season 3, so we're holding off on doing any kind of a watch of that or anything like that until after we've gotten through season 3. But it was a labor of love by the guy behind the channel Obnoxious and Anonymous,
yeah.
Cameron spent years working on it, and it was quite brilliant. Well written. It's fan film quality. You have to expect that. But what's really key is that one of the people that gave him feedback and encouraged him on it was Josh Eisenstadt, who I might be pushing it to say he's a friend of ours. We haven't had a lot of contact with him since the last time we were in Snoqualmie for the Twin Peaks celebration.
We were in Twin Peaks.
Yes, we were in Twin Peaks.
Yeah, can we get a sound check? I think I'm sounding okay, but how does Troy sound to y'all?
Yeah, let us know. But Josh is a great guy. He is, if you could like take a teleporter and put David Lynch and Quentin Tarantino and I don't know Albert Einstein in and just kind of mash them all together, that's kind of Josh Eisenstadt. He's got a brilliant memory. He's got a keen eye for film, and he is far and away the biggest super fan there is of David Lynch and film. And I mean, you know, he puts me in Deleted Scenes to absolute shame. We're not even in the same ballpark with him. But Josh said of Queen of Hearts that it was the best fan film he had seen of anything related to Twin Peaks, and he worked on several of them. So after that came out, and it had been out for a while, I hadn't even known about it till I started talking to Cameron. He stopped by one of the streams that with Deleted Scenes, and I went and checked out his channel. I was just blown away, and in talking with him, I came to realize that he and I had chewed a lot of the same ground as fans of Twin Peaks, although after Netter and I had stopped going to the celebrations, that's when he started. So it's like we handed off a baton to him, and we're only now just kind of recrossing paths.
And can you drop the link for this Indiegogo in the
absolutely
chat?
can.
And then I can pin it to the top.
Easily done, since I've got it right up on screen. So let me drop this. And the reason I had brought this up was because what I thought I would do is play this promotional trailer. This is on Obnoxious and Anonymous' channel, but I think because it's on his Indiegogo and you know he wants people to see it and possibly contribute. Actually, this is probably the best way to do this, because this way you can kind of get the background in his own words. So going to go ahead and and hopefully you guys can hear this okay. Let me know if you can.
Okay, is there supposed to be sound right now?
Yeah, are you not hearing it?
I'm not hearing anything.
Hold on a second. It sounds like you guys aren't getting any sound. Let me try that again. Present, share screen, entire screen with sound. There we go. Want to bring that back in again?
Yep.
Let's try this again, guys. Sorry about that.
There we go. There's sound.
I first met Pamela Gidley. You know how sometimes you meet somebody and you just hit it off with them and you know you're going to be friends? Like by the time I left there, we were already fast friends. And next thing I know, I was going over there and hanging out on a regular basis. And she was into also filmmaking, so I was going to work on some stuff with her, and I was kind of showing her how to use Final Cut Pro, and just became very good friends with her, and started hanging out with her a lot. One storyline that's always intrigued me is the Teresa Banks storyline, because I feel there's a lot unexplored and unknown. What went down in her last few days? What happened from the point Teresa Banks makes the phone call to Leland to the point she ends up dead? What actually happened the night Teresa Banks died? Why was she in the Chalfont trailer? All these questions. How did Teresa Banks get the ring? Who were the other Chalfonts that lived in that space? All of these things that are brought up are quite intriguing questions and mysteries. And I've had some interesting thoughts about a lot of that, and some interesting ideas about putting out those ideas and thoughts in an interesting form.
They're so creepy.
Yes, he does.
Previously on Queen of Hearts.
Hi. I'll be right with you. Let me just put this right here. Whew. It's very nice to meet you.
You too.
Sorry about that. I sometimes don't know if a client's already in the room or not.
Don't worry about it. It's not really an issue. What's your name?
Whatever you want it to be.
Have any interest in knowing my name?
If you want. We're not really supposed to ask too many questions, though. It's kind of frowned upon for us girls to get too personal with a client.
I get it. No need to explain.
Okay. Great.
So, what do we do now?
Whatever you want. You paid for me, and the clock is ticking.
Yeah. So, is there anything you won't do?
You made the arrangements with Miss Hallam. I just follow directions.
Small talk?
Small talk's on the house. Let's start by getting you out of that coat.
All right.
Comfortable?
Getting there.
sweetheart. There's nothing to be nervous about.
If you say so.
You're worried someone's gonna find out, huh?
Yes.
Don't be. Your secret's safe here.
I believe you.
Good. Now close your eyes.
What? Did I do something?
Will this make you forget about whoever it is you're worried about?
Come here. Do you like that? You tell me otherwise, right?
What do you mean?
I'm just asking if I did something you didn't like. You'd tell me the truth, right? Or would you just let the money talk?
Of course I would. But just so we're clear, should you choose to deviate from your arrangements with Miss Hullum and try something I didn't like, let me remind you that there are 4 rather large men right outside this door, waiting to bust your jaw wide open and drown you in the lake. Welcome to One Eye Jacks. Now lay down. So what gets you off?
This.
Yeah?
Whatever you want.
I'm the one that's here to please you, remember? I know. Is this to your liking?
Sure. For starters. So what turns you on?
You don't want to know about that.
Try me.
Tonight is not about me. It's about you.
I know. I just really
want to know. Okay. You want to know what turns me on?
Yes.
I'm going to kill Laura, Annie, and Cooper.
We are standing here in front of the entrance to Club Silencio. Now, it's their off hours. They like to be open late at night. That's why the gate is down. The neon sign that says Silencio that's normally there is off. But nonetheless, spent a long time in Club Silencio. There was a magician on stage. He was saying it's all an illusion, no I bond, all of this stuff. However, there was another thing that he said. What is not an illusion is this fundraiser. So donate now.
See, guys, what did I tell you? Yeah, that's some great stuff. I'm pretty fired up about that. So yeah, I think you got that. Hello. Hi.
I can't figure out how to get the all three back. I thought it was the middle one, but apparently it's
I think
not.
it's the second one.
I am on the second one. Okay, that's the
There you go. Oh, is that the third one?
that's the third one, but I'm not. Oh, you must have taken your
I just
stat
did.
out.
Yeah,
Okay,
I just took it out.
that's why I'm sitting there trying to get that back too, and I'm like, why can't I get that
Oh,
back?
yeah, no.
Okay.
So anyway, you see that it's really two films that they're filming with one kickstart. They kind of are going hand in hand. So what we have is Teresa with a T, which is ostensibly a prequel to even to Fire Walk with Me. It talks about Teresa Banks' story, which we didn't really get a lot of. She is mentioned in the span of the original Twin Peaks, specifically the pilot. It's really a vehicle to bring Cooper in because Teresa Banks' story, her fate, and Laura's are so similar that it merits an FBI agent, a federal agent, coming in on this case, which would otherwise be a local state problem. But Teresa Banks' death occurred the year before across state lines. So, but beyond that, we don't know really much of anything about Teresa Banks until Fire Walk with Me, and then we only get slightly more. So it looks like they're going to go into that in greater detail with Teresa with a T, and then of course Black Rose also sort of mostly prequel territory, talking about Blackie Rose, and I'm assuming we get the setup for how she ends up working at One Eye Jacks herself, and ostensibly kind of taking over the business. However, I have been told that although the presentation of these is prequel format, apparently they are also going to span storyline that takes place after season 3. So in a way, you could think of it as a season 4 sort of prospect. I am not sure on the details. I just know I'm pretty darn fired up about it. You can certainly come and check out the Indiegogo here. I dropped the link. Did you pin that to the top?
I did.
Okay. It's pinned to the top, so you can definitely go check it out on your own there. But importantly, it is two completely separate but interconnected fan films. So that's why it's got a bit of a price tag there. They're looking for a goal of $10,407, which seems awfully specific. I mean, it's the extra $7 for lunch. But $10,407, and I guess we are to assume that you kind of split that up between the two films. So what you're actually doing when you back this project is to back both projects. Like I said, if you've already seen The Return, you could certainly go check out Queen of Hearts, and you can kind of see where it all kind of starts from. But I those of you that haven't watched the Return yet, maybe hold off on that. I'm really looking forward to it. In fact, I'm kind of hoping that Netter and I can get in on this ourselves, because I want to see this project happen. This is not like many other campaigns that we have sponsored and talked about This is a fan film, so it's completely nonprofit. Literally all $10,407 are going to be spent on the production, and I assume a little bit on marketing and stuff like that. But this does not enrich anybody, on the back end or anything like that. This is entirely a labor of love. Also, I don't believe there will be any physical copies. This will be freely available on YouTube, just like Queen of Hearts is right now. So, if we were to look at what the premiums are, they're really ancillary. Things like special thanks in the credits. Hold on a second. This doesn't go the way I expect it to. Media shout out, copies of the script, and so forth. Looks like there's behind the scenes photos.
Yeah, you're not sharing that anymore.
I know.
Okay.
I'm just doing that so I can see what's
Hey,
autographed
lady.
autographed posters. But yeah, looks really, really exciting. In fact, what's interesting is that some of the higher dollar premium items have already gone. They were one of one. One was an autograph of Michael Onkeen. Another was an autograph of Russell Tombly. Is that his name? Yeah, he played Dr. Jacoby, and of course the big one is an autograph of the Log Lady on her collector's card. So, but there's still a lot of interesting things to check out there. I would really recommend everybody go check it out for themselves. And obviously, I am not the person who can answer all the questions about the project. We will be bringing Cameron on in about a month, as Netter said. And for those of you that have just joined us, Lady V, I see you there. Welcome. Always awesome to see you, sweetie. Cameron couldn't make it tonight. He had a family emergency. His son is sick. And look, I am never going to begrudge someone being a good dad. God
Right.
bless him. So he will be back with us in about a month. And I'm going to see if I can't twist his arm and have him reach out to Josh for us. See if we can't get Josh on one night to
Oh, that would be
talk to.
nice.
Actually, what I'd like to do is if possible, I'd like to get Josh on Sparkwood and 21. Cameron too. I mean, definitely subject matter experts that would have a great deal to offer. But yeah, I'm really hoping to see this happen. And look, for Netter and me, looking at the pictures, the behind the scenes and so forth, it really is a bit of a trip down memory lane, a little bit of nostalgia, seeing those filming locations. Tweed's Diner, which is what they're currently calling the Double R, the shooting location. Real diner that we've actually eaten at. The location of One-Eyed Jack's, which Netter and I went to. It's not where you think. It's not actually on the border to Canada, it's another one of those sites where the interior and the exterior are two completely different locations. But I definitely want to see this happen. So, if nothing else, I'm going to thank Netter for giving me the opportunity to babble on about it tonight.
Well, it is one of your favorite subjects, so.
It kind of is, yeah.
And you'll be able to do it again on June 13th when
I know.
Obnoxious and Anonymous
I know.
does appear on my channel.
And to some degree, I kind of do it every Tuesday night over on Deleted Scenes channel, with the Live from Sparkwood and 21. Yeah, and speaking of, we are coming to like the last 2 episodes of season 2. So we are going to, after that, we're going to take a very brief pause to look at some additional, I don't know what you'd call it, additional material, including a fan film. Actually, a couple of fan films we'll be looking at. They're very brief, so they'll fit into one episode of Live from Sparkwood in 21. Yeah, so and then we'll jump right into season 3, The Return. We are going to take that. We may end up taking that a little bit slower than we have the first 2 originally televised series, because it's much meatier, it's much newer. I have had less time with the material, obviously. Twin Peaks is going back almost 30 years, and I've had plenty of time to watch it over and over and over again. Whereas The Return, I've only seen a couple of times, and I'm still chewing on it. And Deleted Scenes hasn't at all yet, even though he's seen enough that he's already starting to nibble a bit. So I don't think there will be any major spoilers, but because I think he's already looking ahead a bit. But I'm just reading some of your comments here real quick. Watch the last 2 episodes. Really loomed big forward to looking forward to the commentary, especially the Black Lodge stuff. Yes. So yeah, we have to start getting into some mythology, and you've probably noticed this. I'm hoping you have. I have really kept a tight rein on a lot of the lore, because my thoughts and opinions about the lodges and all of that mythology have changed greatly since seeing The Return. And so I try to just keep, and let's be fair, I know that, there are probably some people that are watching Twin Peaks for the first time with us. So I'm really trying not to give too much away from even the next episode or the episode after that, let alone season 3. So I'm trying to do analysis as though this was my first time watching it. Kind of as I went. And I am kind of realizing, in putting myself in that perspective, I'm seeing a lot of things where I thought I was onto something, I thought I understood. Oh, wait, this throws me for a whole curve. Now I got to go back and look at it all over again. I try, you guys all know I am very much a death of the author kind of person. I try not to extrapolate too much because of what I know about behind the scenes and so on and so forth. I think there's some value in that, actually. I think we'll be talking about that as we go forward, especially as we start looking at some of David Lynch's other films and works and whatnot, because I feel like seeing a recurring theme in his other projects and going, hey, that's like something from Twin Peaks. It's a theme you see in Twin Peaks. You start to be able to look at them in context and go, okay, so what is David Lynch getting at when he uses this theme? But besides that, I feel like, and we've talked about this with Star Wars too, right? Where, and I may burst a few bubbles if this is the first time you're hearing me say this, but despite what George Lucas says now, he didn't have it all intricately planned out, all 9 movies from the beginning. The idea that Darth Vader was going to be Luke's father, that Leia was going to be his sister, that was something that he hadn't planned out even when he had finished the original Star Wars. what Obi-Wan told Luke was 100% true, not just from a certain point of view. But then, when he was looking for that big cliffhanger, literally, at the end of Empire Strikes Back, he throws in the Darth Vader being his father thing. And I am not convinced that at the end of Empire Strikes Back, he had committed to that yet. I believe he threw it in there, and he's like, I'll decide if that's true later. It could be a lie. I don't know. And then the whole sister thing was necessary for the the gravitas of that ending. You know, I feel the conflict in you. Oh, you've got a sister. It's a hook for the storyline. That's all it was. And let's face it, you know, who's going to be Luke's sister but Leia, right? It also gives us resolution on the romantic triangle, right? So in other words, what I'm getting at, and I've gotten off on this whole Star Wars tangent, really just to illustrate that I believe that creators sometimes change the story as they write it, or do something inspired and then retroactively decide what it meant or how it fits the continuity. And I've kind of seen some of that in Twin Peaks as well. Just last episode, we were looking at the trembling hand, right? And I made reference to the ring that you see in Fire Walk With Me. We haven't seen it yet within the span of the show. And I got as far as, you know, the left hand, the right hand, the ring was on the left hand. The arm is the left arm, you know, referring to Mike and the little man from another place. But it's the right hand that we see shaking. We see Bob's right hand coming out of the Black Lodge. And does the ring have anything to do with any of this? I don't know, but there's certainly that speculation. There's also been speculation about the ring from Fire Walk With Me and Cooper's ring that's taken from him by the giant in once and then later returned to him. Are they connected? Don't know. My supposition is that the ring that we see in Fire Walk With Me wasn't even a thought for David Lynch when he was doing the first season of Twin Peaks. So there couldn't have been an initial, assuming that my supposition is correct, there couldn't have been a connection between the two. And maybe retroactively, he imagined a connection between them. Don't know. We'll certainly talk more about that as we look at Fire Walk With Me again. But real quick, I want to back up and say hi to Samuel Proctor. I did see you there, but I was in the middle.
Sashi.
And Sashi, I saw you as well, but I was...
And I saw Big Al came in earlier, and I know there was somebody else.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed Big Al. Welcome, Big Al. Samuel Proctor says, I have read some of the early script drafts of Star Wars. It's actually a little more complicated. The characters that would become Luke, Leia, and Vader went back and forth in their relationship. Yeah. Not to mention, there was an idea, again, that line that Yoda gives, there is another. Well, retroactively, that other is Leia, right? But if you get really analytical about it, it's almost like, okay, you got to back up. Obi-Wan says that boy was our last hope. No, there is another. Well, he's saying it as though he's saying something that Obi-Wan didn't know about. And clearly, after Return of the Jedi, and especially the prequels, we know that Obi-Wan knew about Luke and Leia, and he was taking care of Luke, and Bail Organa was taking care of Leia. You know, he knew all that, right? So it's not like Yoda was telling him something he didn't know. So at the time that was written, I don't think Lucas knew, A, who the other was, or B, that Obi-Wan knew about it. So again, it's kind of a retroactive fixing of the thing. Also, he had a plan for a sister, but not Leia being that sister. That it would be somebody else. That in the future trilogy that he was working on, it would have been someone else who was hidden away somewhere, and she had to be found and brought back because she was the last hope, the real last hope. Anyway, and let's see what else. Oh, and welcome, Nate. Good to see you, my friend. Bonjour.
Hey, Nate.
And there we go. So I kind of lost track of what I was saying.
You were rambling.
I was kind of rambling,
But that's okay.
But I guess if nothing else, I was kind of laying out, the plans for Sparkwood and 21 going forward, and how much I'm really looking forward to these fan films, because I don't have a great deal of faith that there's going to be a sequel to season 3. Although if you go and you check out the go and check out the background on the crowdfund. He does say, Cameron does say, that he has heard that David Lynch. I'm going to read it right from here. It's been recently confirmed that David Lynch himself apparently has ideas for a potential season 4, according to his longtime producer Sabrina Sutherland. So at least the germ of the idea exists in David Lynch's mind for a season 4. So obviously never say never, but the likelihood seems low, but the potential is absolutely real. But one of the things Cameron's told me is he's fine with that. If anything he does with his fan films is overwritten by an actual season 4, he's totally good with that. He'll consider it an alternate history, alternate reality. Yeah. So this is the kind of thing I'm often talking about when I say, we are so frustrated by the franchises that we loved growing up kind of being deconstructed and destroyed, really. I am not watching anything that's coming out for Star Trek, for Doctor Who, I've even completely walked away from anything new coming from Star Wars. But Twin Peaks is something the fans have very much kept alive. They are not being antagonized by the creators behind Twin Peaks. In fact, David Lynch is very encouraging. He likes to see people create. He likes to know people are passionate about what he has done, and I would say he's very much like George Lucas in that regard. George Lucas was big on supporting the fan film community. Now, I'm not saying that David Lynch, specifically authorizes fan films for Twin Peaks or whatever, but he certainly does nothing to impede them. And I think he is encouraged to know they happen, that people are enjoying things so much. Stardate Trivia, welcome. Glad to see you. So glad you're here. We're talking Twin Peaks. We're talking crowdfund on a couple of fan films that we are hoping that will continue our love of Twin Peaks and give us more to talk about, as if there isn't already enough to talk about. These are pretty meaty topics. Both prequel and sequel to Twin Peaks for both projects. So going to be a lot of fun. Definitely want to be part of that. And you know what, Stephen, I've been thinking we should probably start getting in the habit of mentioning this this Kickstart or whatever crowdfund every Tuesday when we talk Twin Peaks.
And hello, Thade.
Oh, hello, humans, Thade. Welcome, Thade. Good to see you. But yeah, so if you are enjoying our little ride with Twin Peaks, if you are enjoying our commentaries and reliving the mystery, or if this is your on-ramp and you're just starting your journey to Twin Peaks, I would really appreciate and encourage you guys to check out this Indiegogo for Teresa with a T and Black Rose, Twin Peaks fan films. These things are going to happen eventually, but the sooner they make the money, the sooner it happens.
Yep, that's true. So it's like if you are able to even give, just a couple of bucks for the, for the support. It's like, what's the first tier? I can't see because you're not there.
The very first tier is, oh, darn it.
Yeah, it's like 25.
No.
But I'm sure if you were
25.
to even donate like $5, if you have it, it'll be greatly appreciated. Even though it's not one of their tier things, it's like give what you can if you can.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those ones where you're donating to be part of something and make something happen. This isn't about the premiums or anything like that. They're just ancillary. But Netter and I are definitely going to. So.
Okay, I want to address Stargate Trivia's comment. I was just checking there to see who was live streaming tonight, and I stumbled across you guys. I've been listening, and you guys sound like people I would hang out with.
That is exactly the idea.
Yeah.
How do I address you? Stardate Trivia every time but yeah.
Stardate.
Sure is fine. Stardate. Okay, I'll call you Stardate. That is very much the thought behind us. Thursday things on here on Netter's Network is usually us focusing on other YouTubers, trying to help them build their channel, building that network, Netter's Network, and so forth.
Right, and as PJ with the Orville Nation always says, together we grow.
Right,
So my whole thing for Thursday things is I have guests on, we talk about them, we talk about their channel. They may not be somebody that you know about. So now you get to learn about somebody new. And then you go check out their channel and you tell your friends about it. And then they come and sub and da-da-da. Which, by the way, I did sub to your channel, Stardate.
Yeah.
So you have another sub there. But yeah, we're just here to have fun. Talk about, like I said, the guests and their channels. And we find out a lot of really interesting things about our guests. And like where they're taking their channels, what plans they have for the future and all that. And so it's an eclectic mix. So there's always something new and different. So like next week, for example, my guest will be Retro Blasting. It's like that is a total coup for me. I mean, Troy's had him on a couple times, but Michael's never been on my channel. And although Michael with Retro Blasting is a pretty big YouTuber, he's actually coming to my little channel.
Yeah. And
I'm going to be asking him things like, how did he get started? And, how did he choose the retro blasting for his channel name? And, the plans for his channel, all that. Just like I would any other guest. Because those of you that don't know retro blasting, if you like toys, if you like Indiana Jones, this is the guy for you. It's like he does a lot of different videos on different toy lines, and he'll tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly about them. He's really big into Indiana Jones. In fact, there was it 4 hour, 6 hour? How long was that one?
Oh, he did a 6. No, it couldn't have been that long. I think it was 4 hours.
4 hours?
4 hour deep dive analysis of the Dial of Destiny.
Yeah, and it's you can break it up because there's like he's got in his description you can like stop here and then come back and then get from that point to the next point. So it's not like you have to watch 4 hours all in one go, but it is a really good watch.
But But yeah, and don't, you also said that, you're not doing anything with your channel. It's funny you say that because Deleted Scenes was the same way. We were all subscribing to him as he was coming around to our various streams and subscribing to him. He's like, well, I don't have any content. I'm not really doing anything with our channel. And eventually...
Yeah, now he's blown up.
Yeah,
he's well over 2,000 subscribers.
Over 2,000 subscribers.
He's monetized now. Yeah.
He has me co-hosting on his Tuesday show. He occasionally has me as a guest on Sunday nights. So yeah, you never know what could happen with your channel, but also if you get the mind to, Lady V dropped my stream as well, my channel. If you want to give me a check out and a sub too.
Let me find where she
every Friday night, talking about hanging out with people you'd like to hang out with. That is very much the focus of Friday night's Last Call with Troy Pacelli.
And I've just pinned that to the top so it's easy to find.
Oh, thank you. My whole shtick is just imagine it's the end of the week. It's a Friday night. And you're hanging out with a bunch of friends at a pub, and you're going to be closing down the bar, just sitting around having drinks and chatting. That's what Last Call is all about.
Hey, Dad Man Walking.
Last Call for Alcohol. So if that's what you're looking for in streaming on YouTube, please come check us out tomorrow night. And as Netter mentioned, my guest will be tomorrow. Michael French of Retro Blasting.
Actually, I was saying he's going to be my guest next week on Thursday Things, so it's like...
yes. But,
he's everywhere right now.
But he's going to be hanging out with me first tomorrow night. Because, yeah, because we will be doing a James Bond retrospective. My co-host, Aged Boomer, has been after me to do that for a while. Michael French is a huge James Bond super fan and subject matter expert. So. And
Lady V says, yeah, you never know when you're going to start. Check out the cool people here. Always something fun going on.
Yeah.
It's like, in fact, for our kind of like immediate group, so basically it's me, Troy, Aged Boomer, and Deleted Scenes. Mm-hmm. We have something going on every day of the week except for Wednesday.
And that may change in the future.
And what's funny is originally there was something going on every day of the week except for Thursday, which is when I started Thursday Things.
Started this, yeah.
But it's like we have streams every day. We have something different all the time. Deleted Scenes has got like a gazillion different shows he puts on throughout the week. So it's like on Sunday, I think he's got 3. Is it 3? It's Jedi Bill.
So it's Western Cinema Presents.
Well, let's go through and then we could kind of talk about that.
Okay.
So, going through the rest of the week. So, Troy mentioned tomorrow night on Last Call with Troy Pacelli. Yeah. His special guest will be Michael from Retro Blasting, who is a phenomenal guest, by the way. Yeah. So, you want to make sure you tune in for that. Do you know what we're going to be sipping on, dear?
I absolutely do. It's a James Bond stream, so obviously it's going to be a martini. And it's something I've been looking forward to doing for a while. I am going to do a martini taste test. So I'm going to have 2 martinis. One is going to be as close as possible to the Vesper Martini as described in Casino Royale. And the other will be my version of a martini that is inspired by the Vesper, but not working so hard to get the unobtainable or now unobtainable and obsolete ingredients. So yes, martini.
Yep. And then on Saturday night, we're gonna. Oh, I forgot. Big Al is also part of the group.
Yes.
He's only got 1 stream, so it's like I forgot about him.
Well, it's become 2 now because he has been doing Fridays before Last Call. He's been doing some watch parties.
Yeah. So I don't know if Big Al, if you're still here, if you're doing something on Friday for a watch party, please put that in so that we can check that out. And then on Saturday, we're over on Big Al's channel for Is it
the
Fire
Ralph
and Ice or Ice and Fire?
Fire and Ice, the Ralph Bakshi classic, I
Yeah.
would say, definitely cult classic, if nothing else.
And the Cosme link will be provided so that you,
You
don't
can
have
watch
to.
along
Yeah, you
with
can watch
us.
along with us. You don't have to have your own copy.
But you
so-
would have to be here live in order to,
Yeah.
because it'll be a live stream of the film, and when it's over, it's gone, and so you would need your own copy after that if you wanted to see it. But,
Oh, this is so sweet. Stargate's talking to Lady Villamans, but it's like, do you guys greet all your new viewers so warmly? It's like, yes, actually
yes,
we do.
Yes, we do.
What a bunch of nice people. You don't find a lot of nice people on stream these days.
That's true, but you know what? When you do find nice ones, they really, really are nice.
Yep. And they'd remind us that if you like to sing karaoke, you should join on Jedi Bill show Saturday night. And it's later in the evening. I want to say it's 11.
It does
Central
tend to
Time.
overlap with the watch party a little bit, but if you were to come watch Fire and Ice with us this Saturday, we'll just go over to the karaoke stream right from there. So that's the way to go.
Right. So it's like, and whenever we have any sort of watch party, we're going to be showing a film. We always provide a Cosme link so that you can watch along with us. You don't have to have your own copy or worry about, I don't have that movie or whatever. We take care of it.
Deleted Scenes said that the next one on Friday with Big Al, 7 Central, 8 Eastern, is Solomon Kane.
Oh, okay.
And there's the link to it. So there you go.
And I just highlighted that.
So we only got as far as Saturday.
Okay, so that's Saturday. So you can see there's a lot going on. Sunday, Deleted Scenes and Jedi Bill on Jedi Bill's channel, isn't it?
They simulcast, so
Okay.
it's on both
Yeah.
channels. It's Western Cinema Presents. Steven, if you can let us know what the movie is for this week, but it's always a good Western. And he does the same thing. He provides the Cosme link so you can watch along with them. That's, I want to say that's like 3 Central, 4 Eastern. Yeah, I would definitely bring a drink and a snack.
The next comment's for you too.
Not doing the Kingsman cocktail while staring at an unopened bottle. I will probably some Monday night. We're getting to our Monday nights in just a moment, but I will probably do a Kingsman double feature in the near future. So that would be a night for that.
And hi to Matt at Cheatwood. We're just wrapping things up, but you can always catch this on the rewatch.
So yeah, Sunday, Western
Winston
Cinema.
Cinema. Then what's after that?
Then after that would be Unscripted on Deleted Scenes channel, which starts at, that would be 7 Central, 8 Eastern on Deleted Scenes channel. Oftentimes a little ranty, a little topical, definitely
But always a good time.
definitely a thinker, absolutely. Which of course leads into Geeky Geezers
over on Age of Boomers channel.
Age of Boomers channel, Sundays, 8 Central, 9 Eastern, where we bring you all the geeky news of the week to get you caught up, or at least the stuff we found interesting. And even if another YouTube channel has already filled you in on it, we will probably have a fairly different perspective, I expect.
Yep. And it's like they bring you the geek news, including when somebody has passed away.
Yep.
It's
We
like-
do an in memoriam when someone passes. So we will be talking about Roger Corman, of course, this Sunday.
Okay. Stardate wants to know, before I decide if I'm going to stick around the long haul, are there any Star Trek fans here? Dude, we're all Star Trek fans
So
here.
it's funny you say that. I have a sister channel called
Carton the Klingon
Carton the
Cleric.
Klingon Cleric. The problem with that is, as we were talking about earlier in the stream, some franchises and some studios are more hostile to fans than others.
Does my avatar answer that question?
Yes, there you go. There you go. Netter and I met at a Star Trek convention 32 years ago. So yes, definitely Star Trek fans. like I said, I do have a Klingon themed Star Trek channel that I'm doing next to nothing with because Paramount's been hitting the fans so hard. Been very disheartened. But yeah, we get into Star Trek chat every now and again on the main channels. Yeah, in the near future, I'll probably be
Yeah, you
showing
can see
off
my bumps better on
my
that one.
uniforms. You know what? I guess if you're gonna do that, I guess I have to as well. Do I have my my Klingon avatar? Edit audio avatar. Yes, I do. So there you go. Me doing the Klingon thing as well. This was without the hat. I had originally been wearing a red Santa hat with black fur because we were appearing at the Klingon Christmas Carol some years ago, and we were promoting it.
It looks like I have found my people. Yes.
There you go, man. Absolutely. Yes, exactly. Chicha. Yeah, I do speak a spattering of Klingon too, so definitely. One of these days, maybe I'll do some more talk on Last Call, do a little bit of reminiscing about Trek and so forth. But yep, deleted scenes. If you jump over to his channel, as soon as we finish up here, he'll give his weekend update. He'll recap all the things he's doing for the weekend and the upcoming week. And he, getting us back on track, deleted scenes closes out the weekend with The Other Side of Midnight. That's midnight Eastern Time, 11 o'clock Central, with kind of a wind-down stream chat show. Usually has a panel of very attractive people. And we try to take it down, to a mellow level to get you ready for the week.
If you remember WKRP in Cincinnati, Venus Flytrap, how his show would be kind of more mellow and kind of winding down for the evening and sort of thing, kind of like that.
But
did I just age myself?
Absolutely. So going into the week, Mondays are Monday Night at the Movies. Last Call's Monday Night at the Movies. I host. I've lately been doing a lot of double features, but not always.
Well, okay, you did double features every time you've been on, except for this past Monday because we had a dental appointment.
Yeah, and I don't think I did in the beginning because I wasn't specifically planning to do them, but this week, just realized that this week is the 20th. I'm racking my brain because I didn't pick the movies for this Monday. It is a special Aged Boomer birthday celebration, and so he got to pick the movies. And he'll be making his Monday Night at the Movies debut. He's finished with school, and he is going to be able to join me. So we will be watching 2 movies of his choosing from the year he was born. It is The Warriors and Phantasm, I believe. When do we get to see Troy recite poetry while Netter throws things at him? This has been done. Welcome, by the way, Matt Cheatwood. This has happened. We were at was that DuckCon? Yeah, we were at a convention here in the Chicagoland area called DuckCon. And the Klingons were special guests of honor for the convention, and unfortunately, because some struggles they were having behind the scenes, the Klingons had to jump in and kind of take over panels and help out a great deal running the convention. So one of the things we did was a late night, like Klingons After Dark panel, where we discussed the mating rituals of Klingons. And yes.
Yeah, what was funny is the males were kind of like on one side of the room, and they were reading or I should say shouting love poetry at us.
Yes.
And we were picking up stuffed animals and hurling them at them.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, so I don't think we have any footage of that, but could definitely talk about it some night. So that will be Monday Night at the Movies this week. Yes, the two movies are tied together by the fact that they were both released in 1979.
Wow, Boomer's such a youngin'.
I mean, yeah, he's about 8 years younger than me and 16 years younger than you. So I just dated all three of us there, guys. Perform Shakespeare in the original Klingon. Tachbe. Yes.
He can sing in Klingon.
I've sung in Klingon. I have recited the To Be or Not to Be soliloquy in Klingon. I do have. I've got just about every book that has been translated into Klingon or from the original Klingon, depending on your perspective, including Much Ado About Nothing, Hamlet, Gilgamesh. I have contributed to and been keeping up with the Bible Project. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, and I have to locate it again, but I have a book on Klingon fighting styles.
Yep.
I actually have an extra copy that maybe I can use that as one of my giveaways. I guess just gotta locate it again.
It's an incredibly valuable one, though, because it is out of print.
Yeah. Of course, I had one person that because I had bought like 5 copies of it because we were planning on giving to different friends, and then just ended up not doing it for whatever reason. And so we kept one for us, and I think I put the other 4 up for auction on like eBay or something. And I had some guy coming back and just blast me saying, "Those are real fighting styles," and I'm like, "Dude, you know nothing. Go away."
Yeah. So,
Hi, Spicy Peach.
Yep, and Fluff Chicken Productions.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, so that's Monday. Tuesday, we've talked all about Tuesday. Tuesday is 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern, live from Sparkwood and 21, with the penultimate episode of season 2 of Twin Peaks, which we will be watching live and doing a deep dive commentary over on all the channels for everyone who is on the panel. So primarily on Deleted Scenes channel, but I'll be carrying it, Netter will be carrying it, and Aged Boomer will be carrying it as well. That's Tuesday night.
Wednesday, there's nothing.
Wednesday, yeah, it's hump day. Take a break to bring us around to next Thursday, where Netter's Network's Thursday Things, your guest will be
Retro Blasting.
There you go, Michael French of Retro Blasting. Never been on Thursday Things before. Been on Last Call a number of times. So I actually realized when he said he would be on Netter's Network, I realized there were some questions I had that I'd never asked him before. Didn't know some of the background about how he got into what he does. So we will definitely get into that next Thursday.
That Clue Channel. Hi, sweetie. We're just wrapping up, but you can always watch us on the rewatch.
Yeah, buddy. You know, you can always catch the VOD.
And since for those that joined us late, our special guest couldn't make it tonight. He had a family emergency.
Yep.
Basically, his son was sick, and I was like, "Go take care of your family." But he will be back on, or he will be on, because I can't say back on because he hasn't been on. But he'll be back as my guest on June 13th. So he will be coming back, and then we'll be able to talk about his projects and his fundraiser at that time with him.
Yep. So there you go. And okay.
Yeah, and then, do you know what you're playing for next Friday?
Let me refer back to my. No,
He's got Cliff Notes.
no, I don't.
Spicy Pete said I would have made up something cooler, like an eggplant incident.
Yeah, well, I find it funny that eggplant has come to be the icon used for that, because I have traumatic memories of eggplants for completely different. Yep, Moulignon, absolutely.
Yeah, because his mom
JPRPH1.
can't cook.
No, it's not that. It's
Okay, she can't cook some things. I mean, I love my mother-in-law, but when Troy tells me about these things that she made that were just
so
awful.
my mother used to like fried moulignon, but this is where I have trauma from my childhood. Emotional damage. My mother, from whom I learned most of my Italian American cooking from, and emphasis on the American, right? Because if you're Italian, right, you're gonna use butter, you're gonna use olive oil. You're definitely gonna use a lot of olive oil, right? My mom didn't like olive oil. I don't. How does an Italian, someone of Italian descent, not like
That
olive
would be
oil?
like
It
an
just
Italian
seems
not
wrong.
liking garlic.
I know. So she used to use vegetable oil, and I don't like the taste of vegetable oil. It's no. So so I never really liked Moulignon, and the way she did it, yeah, it was one of those things where I would kind of retch a little bit, and only come to find out many years later that YouTube helps a lot. You know, you watch like Pasta Grammar and some of the other Italian, authentic Italian cooks. They make something, and I'm like, oh, actually, that doesn't sound so bad. I may have to try that. I have not yet been able to bring myself to actually buy an eggplant, though. So
Yeah, it's like, now, I'm not Italian. My background, my mother was born and raised in England. My grandmother was Welsh, my grandfather was Scottish, and we would be bit of Irish along the way. So every once in a while, my accent will come out. Mostly Scottish, but yeah, the accent will come out. And then on my father's side, I'm French Canadian. So there's no Italian there. But I'm married to an Italian, and I love garlic. So it's like he married the right woman. Oh, and I'm going to give you one of my favorite recipes for grilled cheese. You know how people butter the bread and then throw in the skillet with the cheese in the center? I do it a little bit
bonus time.
different. Yeah. Which YouTuber does that? They do bonus time.
That's
bonus
Culture
time.
Casino.
Yeah. Bonus time. What you do is you butter the bread, and then you take, I keep calling it sprinkled cheese, the Parmesan cheese in a can, sprinkle that on there and kind of press it into the butter. And then when you fry that side, you get this nice, crisp, cheesy crust on the bread. It's really good. And of course you have your cheese in the center as always. But yeah, this way you get this nice cheesy crust on the outside of your bread when you're cooking your grilled cheese. Ooh, Spicy Peach says garlic butter grilled cheese. Whoa. Darling, I love you.
Yeah, right.
And Clue Channel says there's another way to make grilled cheese. Yeah, it's like I grew up with just buttering the bread and throwing it in the pan. But there was one day I was
would
bored.
assemble it in college and then use my my clothing iron to. So yeah, you could do that too.
Yeah, but it's like there's one day I was bored and I was like, I'm gonna kind of spice this up a little bit so it's not so boring. And I think we were actually low on cheese, so I had like shredded cheese in the refrigerator, and I was like, I really want a grilled cheese, but I don't have like, the squares of cheese, so I used the shredded cheese, for the center, and then I had put the cheese in a can on the outside because I figured, okay, maybe it'll give it a little bit more cheesy flavor. And it turned out so good. I'm like, okay, I'm always making it this way from now on. And I use olive oil in the pan for my, instead of like butter or any other oils, I use olive oil. It gives it a really nice flavor.
Yeah, Stardate, reach out to me on the socials and whatnot. I would be happy to give you some advice on avoiding the Paramount running afoulness. I've been through it. I know what not to do now. So
yeah, it's like, and
I can
on
help you out if
Twitter,
you want.
Troy is at Pacelli Troy. So just reverse his name.
Yep. And you know what? Stop by Last Call tomorrow night. Every one of my streams has all kinds of links to get in touch. My Twitter, my other channel. I've got some groups set up on MeWe. I've got a Discord. So
Yeah, in fact, if you go to Troy's other channel, Carton the Klingon Cleric, he actually has a video there on how to make gak.
I'll pull it up.
And JPRPH1 says, avocado oil is good. Just keep the temp lower. It's as bad as seed oil. Ooh, okay, good to know. Yeah, it's like, if garlic is involved, I love garlic. Yeah, that's like my big thing. So being married to an Italian works out really well because we both like it. I like garlic. I also am a real big fan of onion. And people are like, oh, but you're eating onion and you're married and you're going to be kissing. I'm like, yeah, and he likes it just as much as I do. So what difference does it make?
I mean, she's kind of not wrong there. So there you go. I'm dropping it right
JPRPH1 said, I left you a message, Troy. A
Okay.
Discord message.
Okay, I'll check it out. And share. Come on. YouTube's been acting
Spicy pizza, onions and garlics are a must. Yes, ma'am, they are.
I agree. Okay. This was meant to be the first in a series. Eshoj Hotnosh. In other words, good eats. Kronos. And the first episode is about gach and how to make it. So
Do you want to
hope you
play
enjoy
it?
it.
Is anyone interested in seeing this? I could play it right now.
That may, the Clue Channel. Now you've got me wondering if I could make an onion bread.
Oh,
Instead
absolutely.
of garlic, make an onion bread. I'm going to have to try that.
Yeah, we've got onion powder and stuff. I don't see why not.
Onion powder. We got, I can make fresh onion butter the way I would make
Okay,
garlic
Matt Cheatwood
butter.
says that he'd watch it if you wanted to play it right now.
All right, give me a second.
So we got at least one person. And then Clue Channel says onion bread. Yes!
Now, guys, keep in mind, this was one of my earliest videos. I have,
Ooh, spicy pizza that I had. Onion buns for burgers and pulled pork. I've had onion buns before. And they got that little piece of the onion on top. Oh, those are so good.
present, share screen, entire screen.
And if there's anyone in the chat who has not yet given a thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate if you did that. Show the love. And I don't know if I mentioned it. I'm sure I mentioned it on at least one other stream. But our guest last week, Beyond the Hub podcast, you guys show the love so much for him. He had 50 new subscribers at the end of the show.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Thank you guys so much for that. It's like I was totally blown away. Okay, let me add that to the stage.
I'm seeing the chat here. Matt Cheatwood says, for the old timers, when we walked with dinosaurs. Spicy Peach says, yes, they're tasty. I don't know if those two comments go together, but that is perfect.
Okay, I'm going to make this big and hopefully I can get us back again. Okay, there we go.
Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah. I was, because of all the copyright stuff that I was getting hit with from Paramount.
If you ask the average citizen of the Federation what is the first thing they think of when you say Klingon food, I bet you Darsex to Tribbles the answer you will get will be Gach. In fact, I would wager they would be hard-pressed to think of any other Klingon food. Maybe something Targ related. But why is Gach so well known that even outside the Empire it is ubiquitous? More importantly, what is it about Gach that makes it? Esoj. Klingon serpent worms. Although most Klingons prefer it live, it can also be served stewed or cold as a main course, side dish, or even a dessert. In fact, there's at least 51 different types of gach, each with its distinct taste and texture. These include Bethul, which has feet, Fildengach, which squirms, Meshtagach, which jumps, Torgud, which wiggles, and Wistan, which is packed in targ's blood. Prepared gach ranges in color from browns to shades of maroon or even blue. But here's the question I get the most from non-Klingons. Why is gach so popular with Klingons, who are primarily seen as hunters? First, you have to understand that Klingons are not pure carnivores. True, we like meat. We like to hunt. It is a pillar of our culture and lore. However, we are as omnivorous as humans are. We do eat fruit and value fiber in our diet. There is a reason that prune juice is valued as a warrior's drink. Anyway, that's all for another show. Klingons have an advanced society comparable to humans in the early part of the 25th century. As such, we don't have to structure our diets around the migratory patterns of game and seasonal growth patterns of produce. We have replicators and protein sequencers, but our ancient ancestors didn't have these luxuries. What they did have is a need to store food in times of plenty for times of scarcity. Another option besides preservation is cultivating livestock to be available year-round as well as when traveling, like traveling off-world. No one knows for certain when gach was first consumed as a common foodstuff, nor when it became commonly cultivated, but most assume it was probably one of the first creatures domesticated on Kotnos, which is estimated to have occurred right around 24,400 BYK, before the year of Kalash. As a result, food was less of a mortal concern. It is also a great way to make a meal go farther when you have unexpected company, and a cost-effective way to augment a holiday feast. At the time of this recording, in fact, we are preparing to celebrate Chitlop. So, Chitlop, Bot Ivjaj. So, you're getting ready to celebrate Chitlop, and you are deep in Federation space. You've run out of live gach, and you've gone through the ship's supplies, and you're down to energy rations on the replicators. Well, I'm going to show you how to prepare gach that won't be alive, but will be every bit as good as the stewed gach your mother made with the leftovers. When in Federation space, getting live gach smuggled across the neutral zone can be a challenge at the best of times. So we're going to have to use a few substitutions, most of which can be obtained at your local Asian food store. We'll start with fresh Japanese-style udon. You'll find them in the refrigerated aisle. They look something like this. We'll also use some dried udon, which tends to be a flatter, narrower noodle with a firmer texture. You'll find these in the aisle next to the buckwheat soba noodles, a darker noodle with a more umami flavor. I use all three. You decide what works best for you. Now we're going to need to boil these noodles, not only to prepare them, but to bring some authentic color. The white noodles take color really well, while the brown soba you just want to darken. However, they can all boil together just fine, you'll see. We're going to start with some soy sauce, which does bring some color, but more importantly, it brings the salt. But you don't want to overpower the dish with salt, so don't rely on it for coloring. We'll use a few drops of black food coloring, just a couple, 3 drops. It goes a long way. However, you can be a bit more liberal with the red food coloring. Play with the ratios until you find the color consistency that works for you. Just remember there are over 50 varieties of gach and a whole range of colors, so you really can't go wrong. I like to go with 2 servings of the larger fresh udon and 1 serving each of the dry udon and soba noodles. Again, your chuk may vary, and this is your dish. Go with the ratios you like, even all of one kind of noodle if you prefer. Also, you know how many warriors you need to feed, so increase or decrease the quantities as you see fit. Give your noodles a good stir and don't be afraid to work them throughout the boiling process. You want to loosen those fresh noodles as quickly and consistently as possible, though gently, not to break them. Otherwise, they'll absorb the color inconsistently and you'll have white streaks that don't look right. Essentially, this dish is an Asian stir fry. The idea is fried rice, just with noodles instead of rice. You can pretty much throw anything you want into the stir fry, but I start with thinly sliced scallion onions. And yet, on our ship, we have one warrior who is allergic to onions, so I actually make her a completely separate dish of gach without the onions. Again, you know what you like, and you know your guests. Food allergies are not a joking matter, and in no way make for échange. I have on occasion added some fresh-cut matchstick-style carrots, which bring a sweet, meaty flavor. But if you do that, you might want to get them boiling in the noodle water, probably even before you start the noodles, because carrots need to soften. In a frying pan, add a drizzle of oil and soy sauce. Start sweating your scallions. I like to use sesame oil because it just has that stir-fry flavor, in my opinion, but you can use whatever kind you like. Different oils have different flavors. I didn't use enough oil myself. Again, experiment with your quantities. You're the chef, and it's your dish. Make it so. So a bit more oil, because I know how much I'm going to be adding to this. There we go, and a bit more soy sauce. And you'll see that it's just now starting to bubble up along the edges. I kind of broke the cardinal rule here of stir fry. You really should wait until the pan is good and hot. You want it to be sizzling. That's part of the fry, right? But that's okay. We'll be just fine. That looks better. Now we're going to add our bean sprouts. And I'm adding canned bean sprouts. Normally I would use fresh, but I forgot that I had purchased fresh bean sprouts and left them in the fridge, and they went bad. So that's why I always keep a backup of canned goods. Not quite as good, but you know what? If I hadn't said anything, I don't think anyone would notice. As they cook, they're going to pick up that brown from the soy sauce, which is just what we want. And again, this is a stir fry. I compared this to fried rice, so I'm going to be using some fried rice seasoning. I'm putting it into the onion and bean sprout mixture, and I will add some more later when we bring the noodles in. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Now we're going to bring in a couple of hand grenades. Yep, some would-be birds of prey. Crack those, drop them in. You can scramble them up if you want, but you know what? We're doing just a fine job of that right now. Go ahead and agitate those. Keep those moving. You don't really want them to get into too big of clumps. We want this kind of spread all over our mixture here. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Now let's go check on those noodles. We've drained those. We're going to go ahead and bring them together with the stir fry we've done so far.
I think this will go smooth
Okay.
with that new frying pan.
Bring them, just dump them right in there. And then get them moving as much as possible. You
They
don't
look like
want
they're
them
already moving.
to crisp up. You just want to kind of get them all combined with the stir fry you've done so far. Okay, keep them moving, keep them moving. Man, that looks really good. That's a perfect color for gach. And then, as I promised earlier, we're going to bring another package of that fried rice seasoning. Get that on those noodles. And get that thoroughly mixed and coated, bringing all the flavor to them. And that's looking really, really good. Now, I felt that it looked a little dull, a little bit dry. This is entirely up to you. I decided that I was going to add just another little hit of oil and mix that in. Gives it a nice shine, gives it that glistening appearance that you kind of expect from gach. Now we got our stir fry off the heat, and we're going for presentation. I like to use a clean wok. It looks great for presentation, and it's functional because if you want to reheat it, you can just bring it back to the flame. Just going to go ahead and dump that in there. That looks pretty good. And fluff it. Yeah, if it was moving, it would be perfect. But I'd say that looks pretty much like gach. For serving, you can use pasta server like you see I'm using, or you can use tongs. I purchased these bowls at the Asian store. You can see, yeah, maybe the tongs aren't such a great idea. I would definitely go with the pasta server. And that looks pretty darn good. I think that would make any Klingon absolutely proud. And that's how you make gach. And now you are well armed for Kitlop or any other holiday, when Allied warriors drop by unexpectedly, or just your daily rations. Gach is a Klingon staple, even far from the Empire, and it is also a shoj. Until next time, chapla.
So now you actually have a tutorial on how to make gach.
I believe that the recipe is in the description below, too. So, like that video, not this one.
Joshi says Asian stir fry, my go-to.
Yeah.
Stardate Trivia said yesterday
Yes.
I did not know how to eat gach.
That is, yeah, some of the stills in there came from that episode.
I'm having a hard time hearing you on the music. Which is almost done. 24 seconds.
Yeah, I guess I could have brought the volume down. I didn't think about it, but yeah, that's oh, I can stop sharing. That is my one claim to fame on the Carton the Klingon Cleric channel. That video has actually done very, very well for me.
And for those of you who, come from like our generation, I noticed the foil on the stovetop. I stopped doing that. But my mom always put foil on the stove to try and keep it as clean as possible because cooking gets messy. I discovered it doesn't really help so much because it was, when we're cooking stuff, sometimes things get under the foil and it still makes the stove messy anyway. So I figured, why bother, and stop doing it.
Yeah, that music was actually composed for me by a listener, Stephen Cruz. I shared with him some actual Klingon music from Star Trek and the theme music from Good Eats, Alton Brown. And I'm like, I'd love to have a Klingon version of this, this music. And he's like, okay. And he threw that together. I'm like, yeah, that works. That's perfect. So
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah. I'm glad you like that.
See, now, for me, I prefer it without the bigger soba noodles. I prefer the smaller soba noodles. But
Yeah.
Troy likes the bigger noodles, and most of the people who have had this gach also like, like the combination of the two noodles.
Yeah, and those of you that are Deep Space Nine fans, you'll remember that the Klingon bistro there had a dish called rakt, which I've always just assumed is another variation of gach. But if I were to prepare that one, I would hold back on the red, or maybe add a little bit of green to make it more brownish, and go straight udon and maybe not use the onions. Again, a lot of these things is a lot of these things are presentation. You want to make them look as close to what you see on the show, but the only thing that's missing from the recipe is Spam. It's funny you say that, Nate, because Netter loves Spam. And
I love bacon Spam.
bacon Spam specifically. So whenever we do a dish that involves any kind of ham, it's so easy to just grab a tin of that, dice it up. So, yeah, there will probably be a Targ dish in the future for that channel that will involve Spam, I'm sure. No doubt about it. But anyway, kind of got a little bit off topic, but happy to do it because you started a trivia, got me talking about one of my favorite.
Yeah.
Spam, beans and Spam.
Yeah, it's like Tommy, it's like it's hit or miss even trying to find the bacon Spam around us.
Yeah.
I know there are lots of different flavors. I think I looked it up once. There's something like, at that time, I think I saw something like 10 or 12 different varieties, including jalapeno.
Yes, he just mentioned, Tommy just mentioned the jalapeno Spam. Yeah, that's good stuff. But anyway.
Spam is not spoiled ham, JPRPH1.
It actually stands for spiced ham.
Yeah.
So that's it. I think that's our show for tonight.
I guess so. Do you have any final words, sweetie?
Only thanks so much, every single one of you, for being here, and I'd really appreciate if you guys stop by to make tomorrow night's last call as big as possible, to make Michael feel like his time was well spent.
Yep, and then of course next week here on Thursday Things, come back again, bring your friends. You're gonna really love listening to Michael on my channel, because I'm sure my show's gonna be better than Troy's.
Screw you.
But yeah, anytime Retro Blasting is on either of our channels, it's a great time. And I said it's the first time Retro Blasting is going to be on my channel, so I'm really excited for that. So yeah, I really hope that you guys can join us. Like I said, bring some friends. And also, please make sure that you are subbed to both me and Troy, if you're not already, as well as every member of the chat. And if you think you're subbed, please go back and double check that you're still subbed, because YouTube likes to take those away. It seems kind of arbitrary. I mean, there was like a 2-week period where I would like gain 2, lose 4, then gain 4, lose 2, and it was like weird. It was like, and then I would lose like 1, and then I'd lose 1 more, then I'd lose 1 more, and then I'd gain 2. It's like, it was really, really strange. It's like now I seem to have gained 6, so hopefully I keep that. Troy says, well, you're over 1,000, what difference does it make? But I still look at it, I still get that, what's it called, dopamine hit,
Yes.
when I see that's gone up another 1 or 2.
She likes the dopamines.
Yeah. And my watch hours are going up too, so I'm really happy with that. I'm almost at 2,000 watch hours.
I'm getting really close to monetization.
Yeah.
I'm about 200 watch hours away from monetization. So
Stardate Trivia, you could always go back and rewatch this. Troy was talking a lot about Twin Peaks. He's
Yep.
more of a Twin Peaks expert than I am. I'm just kind of along for the ride. But it's like, Troy is an expert on Twin Peaks, on Star Wars, on Star Trek, Klingons, Migos. I mean, he's got eclectic tastes. So if there's something that you're particularly interested in, I can have him back on here as just a guest and pick a topic.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, you can always rewatch this, and after this ends, I think it takes about 10-15 minutes before you can actually go back to the beginning and rewatch it. But
No,
yeah.
actually on YouTube you can
Yeah.
watch right from the beginning.
Oh, can
It's
you? Okay.
Rumble that has to reset.
I actually right now, if you really wanted to, you could just go back to the beginning and start watching it.
Yep. Yep.
Dooley Scene says he's 102 watch hours away from 4K. Wow.
Wow. Nice. See, that's how, well, this is what happens when you're on stream all the time.
Yes. And JPRPH1 said, I keep trying, Nutter Network. I keep doing the play off for you. Oh, thank you, sweetie.
You are awesome. Maybe that's where I'm getting all my watch time from.
Yeah, the Bosco scenario. How you doing, sweetie?
Hey, Bosco.
Yeah, we're just ending, so you can always just rewind and watch that way.
You got 42 minutes of overtime tonight, folks.
Yeah, because we started talking about all the Twin Peaks stuff, and then we started watching Good Eats.
Yeah, you
Troy's
can
version of
thank
Good Eats.
Stardate Trivia for that. He kept us rolling after we were getting ready to wind down.
Absolutely, but having that extra time adds to my watch
That is
hours,
more
so,
watch
yeah.
time, so thanks, guys.
And eventually, I'll get to a point where I can have people simulcasting from my StreamYard the way Troy and Deleted Scenes can. I'm just not at that point yet, but I will be. So that's the thing. Anyway, we can talk amongst ourselves, and that's all well, good, and fun. But it is so much more fun when you guys are joining us in the chat, and you're dropping your comments, questions, trivia, being goofy, whatever it may be. And it doesn't feel like we're separated by miles or continents in some cases. Hi, Sashi. It feels like we're all hanging out in the same room, just enjoying each other's company and having a great time. And you guys, you're not just our friends. You are our family. We love you guys, and we appreciate you so very much. You're so encouraging to all of us all the time. You can be anywhere right now, and you're here. That is so encouraging. I love seeing you guys here. I love the way you guys interact with one another when we have new people coming in, welcoming them so warmly so that they know that this is a great place to hang out, because you guys are amazing at Osmo. And for those of you who don't know what Osmo mean, go back and listen to my last Thursday thing stream where I tell you what that means. But you guys are just so wonderful. I do enjoy your company. Hopefully, you're really enjoying our company. Okay, well, otherwise you wouldn't be here. But thank you for being here. Thank you just for the encouragement, for sharing the love. I really do appreciate that. Like I said, love you guys. And until we meet again, which will be at CT's Thursday, so tomorrow night on Troy's Friday Night Last Call. Good night, and God bless.